Make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Um, Hope you guys are having a beautiful week. Yes, I did some overtime yesterday, last night, and back at it this morning, heading to work. Feeling blessed, feeling highly favored, feeling you know, energized. Um, I'm just, I'm happy. I got my daughter. Yo, yo, yo! Top of the morning, King. Top of the morning. I'm happy that during the what was it, 4 days that I had off, I was able to get my daughter transferred from the school she's at in Harlem to a new school out here in Jersey because she'll be moving in with me. So I'm very, very happy and grateful for that. She's gonna be a senior in high school, so like I said, man, I'm just grateful that I'll be able to be there for her, on a full-time basis for that transition to college. So, I'm just, grateful to God for that, and looking forward to the challenge and the opportunity. But yeah, man. So it's Thursday morning, and we all know our good brother Shannon Sharpe has been fired from ESPN. This is due to him settling his case with the OnlyFans model that he had a relationship with. I believe she was like 19 or 20 years old, so he's probably started dating her when she was 18-ish, give or take. So, they settled about a couple weeks ago, or probably out of court. And she probably got a nice lump sum. She probably got a nice lump sum. You know, um, as black men, on the top of the morning, as black men, that I'm not gonna tap dance around it. You know, um, as black men, we have to be careful how we move in this industry, in this country, um, in this system, because we are not judged equally as other races. You know, Shannon Sharpe. This girl was not a minor. She wasn't a minor. You know, moreover, ethically, it wasn't the right decision to make, because if you're a 57-year-old man dating a 18, 19-year-old girl, you people will scrutinize you. They down on you. They will frown upon you. They will look. And the thing about it is that in some places he was probably glorified for that and praised for that. And I think that's what we don't get. Like, in some places he felt accepted, for having a 19-year-old girl, maybe in his circle, you know, his buddies, his friends, he probably felt accepted. I don't feel this is something that I don't feel that he hid this relationship from anybody, you know? And this is why we have to be careful who we surround ourselves with, you know? We don't know Shannon Sharpe's history. I think this man might need to write a book, or put out a documentary or something. Like, we don't know what this man's history was like, him coming up in the high in college, what he experienced from black women. We do not know. What I do know is that mental health is a serious thing. It's a serious thing. And we don't know what this man was going through as a child, or as a young adult, or as a grown man. What I do know is that these corporations corporations like ESPN cannot wait for a black man to be stripped of his title or from his position, especially after helping boost their brand to a whole nother level. Between Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith, they have been accepted by the black community in so many ways. You understand what I'm saying? And we need to acknowledge that. We need to acknowledge that, and we have to be careful how we move. You understand what I'm saying? We got to be careful how we move as black men, because we will be first to be put on that chopping block. ESPN is owned by Disney. Disney is one of the biggest corporations ever. And at some point, I want to get into the five families, the conversation of the five families. A lot of you guys don't know who the five families are. These are the people who run everything. They run what you ish, they run what you eat, they run everything. And we have to have knowledge of who these people are, and when you're in their presence. So to bring it back, ESPN is ran by Disney. Just because you can't doesn't make it morally right. Just because you can, you're right, and that's exactly, and that's what we say by ethics. Ethics is you're not wrong and you're not right. So we have to be careful how we gotta be like, perception is reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, Monique even told him, get yourself a 50-year-old or 40 or whatever old woman and get. I was talking to a black woman yesterday, and she said, yo, he could have got a 35-year-old woman and been not looked at as crazy as he's looking right now. He could have got a 40-year-old woman, and you know what I'm saying? But 19, I said, yo, man, I said, I have a 20-year-old daughter. I said, if my 20-year-old daughter was to come home with a 57-year-old man, I would literally be like, yo, my man. Matter of fact, I'm 45, so I would speak to him as he's my elder. My parents raised me right. They raised me, treat you out. I'm trying to live a long time. So I'd be like, hey, listen, sir, please get out of my house. Straight like that. I'll put you in an Uber, whatever. Just do not come back. You understand what I'm saying? And I would have a serious conversation. So this dude, Shannon Sharpe, could not have took this woman serious. This young girl, serious. She was a toy. She was a sex. He had it for pleasure. I honestly do not think that this dude Shannon was with this woman for long-term reasons. Shannon Sharpe, he's a very bright man. I'm pretty sure he has kids older than her, and I don't think that he wanted to make that a serious thing. It was just for play. OnlyFans, it's a platform where you find women on there, you watch them do sexual acts, or you meet them and you have fun with them, you do whatever. It's just that when you have a celebrity status, you cannot do that. You cannot. I don't know, man. I don't know if there needs to be some type of handbook for these type of actions, for behavior. If you're a black celebrity, you know what I'm saying? I look at Diddy, prostitution. Almost every rapper, or a lot of rappers, have gratitude for. Yeah, this life is definitely a test, man. And this is why spirituality is important, because when you're in spirituality, when you have some type of spiritual background or foundation, um, you hold yourself accountable for your actions. You understand what I'm saying? You hold yourself accountable for your actions. You move in a different way because you have to lead by example. And we constantly have this conversation of legacy, right? Like I try to tell you guys how important legacy is. Like you gotta eat, sleep, and you gotta, for real, that has to be how you move. Because at the end of the day, people, the closest people to you, are a part of your legacy. Whether it's your family, your significant other, whomever, even your friends. You know what I'm saying? When they see your friends, they should be like, yo, nah, that was so and so's buddy, whatever the case is. Just like Biggie Smalls, he had a legacy. He left a legacy. You know what I'm saying? When people see Little C's, oh shit. When people see Little C's, when they see Little Kim and all of them, they think of Biggie Smalls. They think of the legacy that Biggie Smalls left. You know what I'm saying? And they honor them. They honor Biggie's son. They honor Biggie's daughter. So this is important. We have to move in that light, and this messes with Shannon's legacy. You know what I'm saying? Because that at the end of the day, people gonna look at him as, oh, this is the guy who was sleeping with 19-year-old girls at 57 years old. So the best thing he can do right now is just continue to what he's doing. He has a podcast with Ocho Cinco, and just continue to actually just do better. That's all that man can do. Nobody's perfect. We all can fall short. We all make mistakes. This man is 57. Probably wasn't looking to be married. Probably wasn't, looking to be in a relationship. He probably thought that was the safest. He probably thought that was the safest thing he can do to protect his assets. Because a lot of times, when you get married or when you get in these relationships, whatever the case is, those be the ones that get you in a situation where you get divorced and the woman gets, you can't, it get worse. So Lord knows what was going through this man's mind, you know what I'm saying, while he was dealing with her. But what I do know is that we all fall short, and let's not I'm gonna still support him. I don't watch his podcast like that, but if I see something that I like on his platform, yes, I'm gonna watch it. Yes, I'm gonna show him some love, or whatever the case is. I don't look at him as a monster or whatever the case is. Shannon Sharpe, all these guys, Shannon Sharpe, Diddy, Jay-Z, all these people who are put in the spotlight. God forbid they go through something. These guys are regular people just like you and I. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to be able to learn to forgive, learn to let people be who they are. But yeah, man, I want you guys to, just, no, you can't do that. People, they don't know how to read these traffic signs. Yeah. Facts. But yeah, man, I want you guys to be positive, think positive, be the best you can in what you're doing in life. Stay focused. I think alignment is so important, when it comes to the lifestyle that you're living. If have to deal with people who are aligned with your purpose. You know, I think when you move like that, it eliminates all of the. A lot of times we don't see bad energy, or we don't see things that can downgrade us or put us in negative situations. We don't see them at face value. We don't see them in the beginning because we're not psychic. We don't know what's behind that curtain. That's why it's important to align people with your purpose. Because when you align people in your life with your purpose and you move like that, it eliminates these situations without you even knowing it. Without you even knowing it. You ain't gonna have to think twice about it. You just gonna be like, yo, I have no alignment with this person. You know, you want to bring people in your life, and I'm talking from a standpoint of if we're talking dating, black man dating, right, or man dating, period, who has children, right? You want to be able to, if you dating somebody, right? You want to tell yourself, hey, listen, you know, I'm whatever age, 45, whatever. If you know, at a certain age, that you take your life serious when it comes to companionship. You want somebody who can offer you more options than just sex. Let's keep it a stack, right? You want to be dealing with somebody who, now if you want, listen, if you just want sex or whatever the case is, there's places you can go for that. You can go out of country and do what you want to do. You can do all of those different things. But if you're dealing with somebody on a constant basis, right? You want to be like, yo, I want to be able to bring this woman home to my children. You understand what I'm saying? What type of knowledge can she drop on my kids? What type of knowledge can she drop on me? You understand what I'm saying? These are the different things you want to look for in a woman. You just don't want to look for a woman who, oh, she's young, she looks good, she got a nice body. But what does she have going on in her head? What type of qualities can she add to your life? How can she upgrade you spiritually, mentally, physically? You understand what I'm saying? What type of alignment do you have with her? You know? And when you look at things like that, that eliminates all of the different things, the drama that can come with a package of just going for one simple thing like sexual pleasure. Like, it has to be other qualities that you look for in a woman other than sex, you know, because if that's the case, you're gonna lead yourself down a wrong road, and it's not gonna be good. It's just not gonna be good. You got child support, this, you know, wanting to sue you and claim all these different type of allegations, you know, and we have to look for alignment. Alignment is important. You know, how are we compatible? Do we like the same things? Can we have conversations? Like, did you hear the conversations they were having over the phone on those the tape that was recorded? Like, did y'all hear it? I don't think y'all heard it. Like, who wants to have those kind of like, how are these conversations benefiting me as a man? You understand what I'm saying? If I'm trying to be somebody better in life. So I you know, we have to look for alignment. We have to look for who are you added to my purpose, yo. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, man, it shouldn't be it shouldn't be a hard thing. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. It's easy. You know? This morning I will be sipping on bubbly sparkling water. My daughter put me onto this. Sparkling water lime. This is the lime flavor. 0 calories. 0 calories. I'm about to crack that open, sip on that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to me, man, for not drinking coffee in like, I'm going on like 10, 15 days right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't even feel an urge to drink no coffee or nothing like that. Like yesterday, I think I got a small bit of an urge, but I was just like, I'm good. Like you know, I'm trying to get rid of all the inflammatory things that I put in my body. You're gonna never get rid of all of them. You know what I'm saying? But I feel that coffee was like a drug to me. Like I don't know if any of y'all experienced that, but I found that I would drink coffee entirely too much to the point that it would mess with my diet. It would mess with like my food intake. You know, a lot of times I would find myself, if I was drinking coffee, I'd find myself eating a muffin or eating a donut or you know. Excuse me. I would find myself like eating a donut, eating a muffin or something like that, you know. And I feel that tea is a little bit more settling for me, you know. And just me personally, you know. So and coffee is inflammatory. It's an inflammatory uh, drink. A lot of times you put all this sugar in it, this Starbucks creamer, and it's coffee made, all these flavors, hazelnut, and all these different things, man. Like, you know, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I said, I'm good. I'm good. You know, so shout out to me. Shout out to you too, man. Like, if you got something, like, give yourself credit. If you got something that you have like taken out of your diet, or you've what do you call it? You sacrificed, or you fasting. Fasting is wow. Fasting is important. You know, if you're fasting, you know, shout out to you. You know, I was talking to my daughter last night, and I told her that I want to start doing some intermittent fasting. I want to start cutting off my eating. I want to cut off my meals. If I haven't had dinner by 7 o'clock, I'm not eating nothing. You know, if I do eat something after 7 o'clock, I want it to be fruit, like watermelon, apples, grapes, something like that. Like, I do not want to find myself buying or eating full meals 10 o'clock at night. And these are days that I work. This is how I'm doing it. Days that I work, I do not want to be eating meals 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. Like, I want my body to like be able to digest properly after a certain time. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, I don't feel like if my body, if 6 times out of the week, my digestive system is trying to digest full meals at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, I don't feel that they're digesting properly, because they're just not. You know, you're eating, and you know, last night I didn't get home till 12 o'clock at night. No, like 12:30 or something like that. And me eating dinner or eating a meal at 1 o'clock in the morning is just crazy. It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm holding myself accountable, and I told my daughter, I said, yeah, I'm not doing this no more. I said the only thing I will be eating around this time will be fruit moving forward, or oatmeal or something like that. So, you know, I encourage you guys to hold yourself accountable. You know, start treating your body a lot better. You know, what we're putting in our bodies. It's only gonna help you in the long run. Help. That's it. That's it, man. But yeah, man. You know, because when you wake up in the morning, you feel a lot more. You feel a lot more loose. You feel lighter. You don't feel as heavy. You know. So we want to improve our gut health. That's the big picture. You know. So yeah, man. I want you guys to just be, you know, be blessed out here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Hit the like and the share button for this video. Put in the comments, you know, and different other comments. Different other videos. Um, how you guys feel about the videos? Um, definitely can't wait for. I'm gonna be doing some in studio podcasting starting in September. I'm gonna have some great interviews with some great people. We're gonna have some great conversations. This content will be professionally edited. Um, and it's something that's needed in the culture. You know, that's needed in our culture. So I'm bringing that. I'm restoring that feeling, restoring that energy. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I think you guys are gonna like it. So I want you guys to just stay tuned for that. You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned for that. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. You know, and we're gonna take it to the next level. We're gonna take it to the next level. You feel me? But yeah, I just got to work just now. Thank God for this parking spot, this parking lot, because Lord knows I am too grown. No disrespect to people who don't park in a parking lot, but I don't know. I'm not driving around looking for parking spaces all morning. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. You gotta come out and move your car and all that kind of stuff. Like, nah. Let me come to a parking spot, park my car, and get upstairs to work. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Drake too, man. He just dropped a cologne yesterday. My daughter, she works at Ulta, and she said he dropped a cologne yesterday. She said it smells pretty good too. Yeah, hopefully she picks it up for me. But yeah, man, God bless y'all. Have a blessed day. Stay righteous. All right, and I'll talk to y'all later.